me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Juggernaut Retro Reviews. And today we're going to be reviewing WWE WrestleMania 34. So we go all the way back to April 8th, 2018. And we are from New Orleans, Louisiana at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Or now it's called the Caesars Superdome. Man, I got to tell you this. WWE, they love coming to New Orleans because 4 years earlier before this, they were in New Orleans for WrestleMania 30. And then in 2026, they're going to be in New Orleans again. So, man, they love coming to New Orleans. They love coming to Florida. They love coming to these big states, you know, these warm climates. But yeah, WrestleMania 34, man, this was a hard show to sit through. You know, going back and watching this, I'm like, man, I completely forgot some stuff that happened on this show. But, yeah, let's get right into this review. So, the first match that kicked off the show was the WWE Intercontinental Championship match. It was in a triple threat. We had The Miz defending the title against Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. This was an awesome way to start off the show. I forgot how good this match was. Because, man, I gotta say, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, the chemistry that both of those guys had in the match, they were doing some amazing spots. Like, I always like when Seth Rollins does that suplex into the whole Falcon Arrow. I really enjoyed that. And the back and forth, the near falls that Rollins and Balor were doing was really nice in the match. The Miz, he brought his own little spin into the match, which was pretty good. You know, The Miz is like one of the best IC champions in my personal opinion. So all three of these guys meshed really well together. And also this is when like Rollins, he brought back the curb stomp, because for a while here he was using the pedigree, which, you know, I didn't really like when Rollins always used the pedigree. I like him using the stomp more. You know, it fits him a lot better. But yeah, Rollins ends up winning here. Because Finn Balor, he went for the coup de grace, and then he went for the pin, and then Rollins came in, hit the curve stomp onto Finn Balor while he was doing the pin. So Seth Rollins became the new Intercontinental Champion. Great opener here. Like, I gotta say positive about the show. The structure that they had in these matches was really good. But some matches didn't get the right amount of time for some of these matches, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, this was a really good opener here. And then the next match we had was the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. We had Charlotte Flair defend the title against the first ever Royal Rumble Women's winner, Asuka. And during this time, Asuka, she was undefeated in WWE. Yeah, this match here. They tried their best here, you know, and I gotta say this crowd was not like that hot for this match. I gotta say this wasn't like your normal like pro wrestling crowd. You know, this was like more of like a mainstream crowd. You know, like people weren't like all into like WWE like that. But yeah, this was more like I said, mainstream crowd. Yeah, they were pretty decent together. Charlotte, I like that that counter that Asuka did to the moonsault. She did like into like a triangle choke, or that was pretty cool. I like that counter to the moonsault. You know, Charlotte did some nice selling in the match. You know, she was like selling her arm. She hurt her arm in the match. Asuka was doing some nice submissions in this match. You know, Charlotte was doing some okay stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of Charlotte, but hey, I mean, both these girls are working really well together. Charlotte ends up ending the undefeated streak of Asuka here when she did the figure. She locked in the figure eight. I know I was just kind of disappointed because like, well, what was the point of having Asuka win the Rumble? I mean, Vince has never been a big fan of like wrestlers like from different who couldn't really speak English that well. But so why did he let Asuka win the Rumble that year? But yeah, I mean, it was an okay match, nothing crazy. So we'll move on to the next match, which we had was the United States Championship match in a fatal 4-way. We had Randy Orton defend the title against Bobby Roode, which his entrance was amazing. And then we had Jinder Mahal in here, and we had Rusev, which Rusev was so over. That this is the time when they were doing the whole Rusev Day, and the Aiden English was in the corner of Rusev. Yeah, this match, to be honest, I did not care about this match at all. And they didn't really get a whole lot of time to work. It's like, once the match kind of started going, like, it got going, it felt like it just ended abruptly. Like what? It's going to end like that? Orton was doing some nice stuff in this match. He was hitting a lot of RKOs on people. Hitting RKOs on Aiden English, Bobby Roode, Rusev, Jinder Mahal. He was just hitting everybody with RKOs. Like I said, Rusev was really over here. They let Jinder Mahal win the U.S. title. I don't know, just for because I think like later on, like in April, they were going over to Saudi Arabia. They were having the greatest Royal Rumble ever, or whatever, the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia that year. So they wanted to have Jinder Mahal holding the U.S. title. Hit the Colossal on I believe it was it wasn't Randy. I think it was Rusev who took the pin. I can't exactly remember. But yeah, this match should have been scrapped from the whole show. But yeah, Jinder Mahal ended up winning here. Nothing crazy. All right, and the next match we had was a mixed tag team match. We had Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey going up against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. This right here, this was definitely best match of the night. Even, when I went back and when I watched it the first time back in 2018, I said, yeah, this was definitely, the best match that happened throughout the whole night. This was Kurt Angle's first time being back in the WWE ring since a long time. Yeah, this was some really good stuff here. I mean, Kurt Angle, at the beginning of the match, he didn't look all that great. But as the match got going, he started getting back in his groove, hitting some nice suplexes, hitting some nice belly-to-belly suplexes. Triple H, he's adapted over time, as he gotten older, with being in the ring. And so he was looking okay out there. Ronda Rousey, she was definitely, she looked really good. She didn't do a whole. I mean, she did do some submissions and stuff, but coming over, this was her first ever WWE match. She looked great here. Stephanie McMahon was really selling for her good. Even Triple H sold for Ronda Rousey, so you knew WWE had a lot of big things in store for Ronda Rousey here. Back during this time. Yeah, Ronda Rousey. Yeah, she was hitting some nice. What are they? Some nice suplexes and some nice arm drags, some nice hip tosses onto Stephanie. But I mean, Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey ended up winning this match. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey ended up winning this match. Ronda Rousey locks in the armbar onto Stephanie McMahon, and that's how they win. Stephanie McMahon taps out to that. And I noticed that there were a lot of probably UFC fans in the crowd. So like I said, this for this WrestleMania here, this wasn't a normal pro wrestling crowd. And also, you gotta put into account that this show was 7 hours long. This was a long show, which I'm happy now. WrestleMania's 2 nights. Ever since WrestleMania 36. I'm happy Mania's 2 nights because, man, it's hard to sit through those long WrestleManias. But yeah, Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey ended up winning, though. All right. And then the next match we had was a triple threat match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team titles. We had the Bludgeon Brothers of Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, which are R.P. Harper, and then we had the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, going up against the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Big E. Yeah, this match here, I don't know. To be honest, it should have just been the Usos and the New Day. It shouldn't have been the Bludgeon Brothers in here. Even back in 2018, I thought that the Bludgeon Brothers should have been a part of this. It kind of basically felt like a squash here. That's what this felt like. The Bludgeon Brothers, they hit this. Luke Harper hits this power bomb from the top rope onto. It's not power bomb from the top rope on the Kofi Kingston, and the Bludgeon Brothers became new tag team champions. Yeah, this was not good stuff. This is kind of where the show kind of took a hit for me. Like, kind of went downhill for me. But yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers won. We're moving on to the next match, which we had was the Undertaker going up against John Cena. So, so now we're going to bring up the whole Cena stuff. So Cena was out there, throughout the night. He was sent out by ringside, which was pretty cool, seeing Cena as a spectator. People weren't really bothering him that much. He was like enjoying himself throughout the whole night. And, he was always, wondering, is Undertaker there? Is he not there? Is he going to accept the challenge? So Cena was just, being a fan, which was pretty cool to see. But, so we had basically, we had Cena come out. And then we had, what's his name? Elias Sampson come out. And, he just trolled everybody. I think that kind of went on a little too long. He did a song. Cena beat him up for a few minutes. Like I said, this kind of went on a little too long. And then finally, The Undertaker came out. To squash John Cena pretty quickly. I'm happy with this. And then Cena, he was happy with a squash as well. Because I did not want to see Undertaker and Cena go for like a 25-minute match or 20-minute match. Because after what we saw from WrestleMania 33 in 2017, like the shape, how Undertaker looked. But Undertaker squashes Cena in like a quick 2 minutes. But looking back on it, to be honest, I wish I would have done Cena and the Undertaker a lot sooner. Like a lot earlier, like 10 years ago. That's what they should have done. They should have done Undertaker and Cena, and it would have been all right if Cena would have lost to the Undertaker. But yeah, they should have done this match a long time ago. All right, and then the next match we had was a tag team match. We had Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon going up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn would have won, they would have been rehired back to SmackDown. And also, this was Daniel Bryan's first match back in WWE. Come back from his neck injury. So after being cleared for so long, this is pretty cool. Having Daniel Bryan being back here. Because you go back back to the Yes Movement, back to WrestleMania 30. So it kind of brings like full circle here. Shane McMahon, he did not look that good in this match. He kind of looked really kind of out of it, because after what they were saying that he was going through diverticulitis, which that's a bad condition. I think Brock Lesnar even had diverticulitis. It's like something like with the abdomen and like with seeds in your stomach or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it definitely could take a lot out of you. But I gotta tell you, the things I liked in this match, I liked Sami Zayn and like Daniel Bryan going at it, like the chops that they were doing back and forth, and it was just nice seeing the guys work together in the ring. Daniel Bryan, he was doing a lot of brawling in this match. This kind of seemed like a Stone Cold Steve Austin. How Stone Cold Steve Austin, after his whole neck injuries and all that, he changed his style. Well, Daniel Bryan definitely changed his style here. Yeah, I mean, this isn't any match to write home about, in ring wise. I mean, like I said, it was cool, the moment for Daniel Bryan being back in the ring. Daniel Bryan put in the yes lock onto Sami Zayn. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon win. Nothing crazy, like I said. And Kevin Owens wasn't too thrilled about this match either. But yeah, we'll move on to the next match, which we had was the WWE Raw Women's Championship on the line. We had Alexa Bliss defending the title against Nia Jax. Yeah, I'm a big Alexa Bliss fan. Nia Jax, I mean, she's okay. I was a big fan of her at this time. But as time went on, Nia Jax started growing on me. Alexa Bliss, she was definitely a chicken shit heel in this match. Running away a lot from Nia Jax. Nia Jax had, having a lot of that power over her. It was cool that Nia Jax won here. I don't know. Nothing crazy happened in this match. I wish they would have kept the title with Alexa Bliss. Or they would have had a better story for her. I don't know, like Sasha Banks and Alexa. Or Bayley and Alexa. I don't know. This match just didn't really do it for me. But yeah, Nia Jax wins. All right. And then the next match we had was the WWE Championship match. We had AJ Styles defending the title against Shinsuke Nakamura. And I remember back in 2018, I was so excited for this match. I was excited. But to be honest, this match was a letdown. This was a letdown. I mean, we got 20 minutes here. But it's like, I don't know if my expectations were set too high for this match. But, I mean, this isn't like New Japan stuff. This is more, the WWE style for Shinsuke Nakamura. And also, Nakamura was the Royal Rumble winner here. And, another Japanese wrestler. But, I don't know. It's like you're waiting for those big moves to happen and, they just don't come. And it's just kind of like, it's just a letdown. That's what this match was. It was a letdown here. I mean, you was expecting some strong style stuff here, but you just wasn't in that, or you're expecting some big moves to have from the top rope, or some high powered moves, but nothing really happened. I guess one of the really cool spots that was in the match was when Nakamura, he was going for the Kinshasa, but AJ Styles countered it into the Styles Clash. I think that's one of the best spots in the match. Or even when AJ Styles hit a nice brainbuster, that was pretty cool. But other than that, like I said, nothing crazy. Like I said, this match was kind of a disappointment. AJ Styles wins. He retains his title. And of course, after the match, Nakamura did his whole heel turn. He low-blowed Nakamura. And then they had a feud throughout the summertime that revolved around a dick punch. So, yeah. Disappointment match here. Like I said, I had high expectations going into this match in 2018, but yeah, let down. Okay. And then the next match we had was the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. We had Cesaro and Sheamus of the Bar defending the title against Braun Strowman and Nicholas, which was a little kid. What? Braun Strowman, he came out there, he goes hey, I'm going to pick somebody in the crowd. I remember watching this live and stuff. I got, what the hell? I completely forgot this happened, to be honest. But yeah, Braun Strowman went in the crowd. He picked a little kid because, Braun Strowman didn't want to tag with anybody on the roster. This was basically a squash match here. This was embarrassing for Cesaro and Sheamus. I feel bad for them there. But yeah, Braun Strowman and Nicholas win, and yeah, I was not a fan of this at all. Not a fan. This match should have been cut from the card, to be honest. All right. Now we move on to the main event, which was for the WWE Universal Championship. We have Brock Lesnar defending the title against Roman Reigns. This is their second match that they had at WrestleMania. The first one was back at WrestleMania 31, which I like the 31 match a lot better than this here. Of course, we had the cool cash-in happen. It was a little more exciting, but this right here, oh my gosh. They were chanting boring here, and of course, the fans were already worn out. This was your typical Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns match. Brock Lesnar doing a lot of suplexes. They did some brawling on the outside. They're like, Brock Lesnar took like 5. Oh no! Brock Lesnar did like 5 F5s onto, or was it 4? I think it might have been 4 F5s onto Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns kept on kicking out. The Superman that he is. Roman Reigns, he wasn't doing too much else there. This was when people weren't like vibing with Roman Reigns. He was still being shoved down our throat. Roman Reigns, he did okay stuff in this match. I don't know. Vince has always had a hard on for these Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns matches. Brock Lesnar retains. Of course, Brock was Vince really loved Brock Lesnar a lot, but yeah, very disappointing main event. Not as good as their WrestleMania 31 match, or even their 38 match. Their 38 match was a lot better. But yeah, this was probably their worst match, to be honest. But yeah, Brock Lesnar wins, he retains, and that's how WrestleMania 34 ended. Overall, would I recommend watching WrestleMania 34? No. Only reason why I watched it was just to review it on my channel. But yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button to help out my videos in the algorithm. Also, go down in the comments, let me know what you guys want to see on my channel. So definitely stay tuned for more videos. I got my WrestleMania 41 predictions. I got a watch along this weekend to do. I got my Mania 41 review. A lot of wrestling to cover this weekend. It's WrestleMania week. Like I said, definitely subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. So, see you guys later.